Hello and welcome back to Retrotainment Recast. We're back and it's just the three of us again. That means there's no special episode and we're back to our original programming. Tonight we are in with a monstrous film. An absolute, both literally and figuratively, this film was huge when it first came out. And
Still
it
is.
spawned many films to come. We're talking Jurassic Park here, lads. How did you find this?
I don't
Tough.
want to play. I don't want to play anymore.
It was tough. I have to say, yeah, it was quite tough, and it's made tougher by the fact that there is a continuation to Jurassic Park, which, okay, I was kind of debating this when I was doing the cast, and I was like, well, since this is a continuation, it's not a remake. So if the film was being made for the first time now, would someone like Chris Pratt have been cast as,
I don't think he would have, though.
No,
No.
I'm not saying he would, but I'm not saying him specifically, but just I was kind of looking at it as like, would any of those cast have been cast as the original cast if it was being done now? Because it's a continuation, it's not a remake, so kind of those rules don't apply. But I just stuck away from it because I was like, it's too hard to get into my head, like, so I was just like, no, I'll just stick away, just new actors all the way.
Yes, 100%.
Just make it easy for the day.
Yeah, we don't want to think too hard.
Yeah.
But we have gone with 9 characters here. It's been a while since we've done a niner. But we'll jump right into it after you send in your pictures. That's
I'm just apologising for the quality of my picture right now. It is it's bad times on the old Kelly phone here.
Mine's sent in there.
So that was mine.
beautiful. Right. So we'll jump in with someone who not only was in this film, but has appeared in the new trilogy also. We'll jump in with Dr. Henry Wu, B.D. Wong.
What a man.
This one is probably like one of the tougher roles, especially for this film.
Yeah.
Because this film, he's really not involved at all.
He's not.
It's literally just that opening scene where he's going along and he explains it, and that's it, really.
Yeah, like they do reference him, like, all of the other doctors don't really get referenced, and he does. So like you kind of know something's there with him, but other than that, you don't really get a whole lot with him. So because of that, I was just like, right, I'm gonna base my recast solely on the fact that he's Dr. Wu, so it's obviously someone of an Asian descent. So I just went with kind of one of the bigger Asian stars at the moment in Simu Liu from Shang-Chi. Yeah, maybe a bit big for the role in terms of like Shang-Chi, but because he's in a Marvel film, but I also wouldn't say that he's a huge star either, even though he does have his own Marvel film, because he's only starting his Marvel career. It's
Is he the main guy?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's Shang-Chi.
Yeah. So like
He was good. I thought he was very good.
He is a very good actor, but he's only starting his career. Even though he's got a Marvel film, it's like the start of a Marvel career.
I've only seen him dabbing in Kim's Convenience.
Yeah, so I figured he probably could still take a role like this,
True.
I went with one that I've used 2 weeks ago, I think, maybe 3 weeks ago. I went with Stephen Yeun, who played Glenn in Walking Dead.
Okay.
I'd looked at him as well.
He's obviously got to be a certain age to be a top scientist, doctor person. And obviously somewhat of Asian descent. And with how small this role is, I was like, yeah, he's not really in anybody anymore.
This is true.
But he's still popping up in things.
Exactly, yeah. The way I went here is I went with someone that has done smaller roles in films. I went with Riz Ahmed for this role.
Who?
Riz Ahmed. He was in Rogue One.
Yes,
he was also the villain in the first Venom movie.
It's a good show. It's a good show.
Yeah, that's.
I like Riz Ahmed.
Yeah.
He definitely looks like a snaky bastard to me.
Exactly.
But you don't know he's going to be a snaky bastard yet, He's just a nice young scientist.
Yeah. Which he can also look like, because he was that innocent character in Rogue One.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
Yeah, I thought so.
That will win the picks.
Yeah, I'd say that'll probably.
But actually, no, I don't. I wouldn't say so. Actually, I'd say Shang-Chi will win the picks because of the name.
Lou. See, I don't know if a lot of people know him.
Yeah, see, that's what I was saying.
Still.
Like, even though he has his own Marvel film, he's still not that well known, sort of thing.
Saying that, I am going to go with Simu Liu here. But it's close.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that this character is like really boiled down to just the fact that his name is Doctor Wu. You know, like that's really like because
Like if they refer to him as Henry, you just go, yeah, anyone.
Yeah, like it's unfortunately that's the only small bit of character work you get from him is the fact that he's a doctor. So
yeah, exactly. Right, and we'll go with the youngest character in the movie, Tim Murphy, originally played by Joseph Mazzello.
Who does nothing now.
He's done a couple things actually. He's done more than his sister.
Well, she's an artist or something, isn't she? She's a painter or something.
She only did another little couple things after this, but he's done a good couple things actually.
Has he? Yeah. Maybe it's just because he's grown up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Kid. Hard pressed. Hard to find. Hard to know. Yeah. I've watched one show that's really based on kids, and it's Young Sheldon. I went with Ian Armitage.
Ooh, Ian Armitage is a good shout.
Can't say I've watched Young Sheldon. I've never watched it.
I haven't actually sat and watched the whole series like I did Big Bang, but Zoe Starr loves it, and it does be on. And I'd be like, I'm watching it. I was like, oh, he's good. I'd use him sometime.
I don't think I've seen him. Like I've never watched an episode of.
I might be wrong, but I think he does all the Scooby Doo voices for Netflix and Nickelodeon and all as well.
Does
he? I might be wrong with that.
Yeah. Well, where do you go here, Ted?
Yeah, I was similar. There's not. I don't know that meant like child actors are always difficult because you might see them in one film, but then you won't see them again for 3 or 4 years, and by that time they've kind of aged out of nearly whatever role you will be thinking of them. So, my character is probably a little bit older than the character like that he played as a 10-year-old.
So is Ian Armitage on this.
Yeah, so he's not.
He's like. Yeah.
He's not that much older. I think he still is kind of, he's still a child. Not like I don't think he's even a teenager. So he's still like under kind of 12. And I went with Walker Scobel, who was the child in the Adam Project. He really steals the show in that. I can't say I've seen him in much other things, but
he hasn't done anything else that. He hasn't done anything else.
He has not done anything else? Well, he will.
Oh, but he has just been cast for the Disney Plus series and the remake of Percy Jackson.
Oh, really? Okay.
He is Percy Jackson.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, he blew it away in this film. Like,
I haven't seen it yet, but
he's in there with Ryan Reynolds and he holds his own completely with him. Like
he almost steals the show off Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be hard. Ryan Reynolds isn't a great actor, lads. He's funny. He's not a great actor.
Comedy-wise, he almost steals the show off Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, yeah, that's fucking big.
Yeah, he does really, really well in this.
I'll actually, Joe, what? When we get off here, I might throw it on and give it a watch.
You should. It's very, very good.
I went with Walker Scobel here myself.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't pick him because,
of course, you haven't seen it.
I think once you see the Adam Project, he just fits that character so well.
Yeah, he really does, and I think he has a bright future.
Yeah, I think
especially already getting Percy Jackson for Disney Plus is big call.
Yeah.
Next we'll move on to Ray Arnold, Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, so again, a kind of minimalist role in here.
It is. This was before Sam was Sam.
It sort of is. Like he was still a big name by this point.
Had he not done
he'd have done Pulp Fiction and stuff.
Pulp Fiction and
Pulp Fiction actually.
Pulp Fiction was 94. This was 94.
I think this is 93. I think this might actually be before.
Yeah, it's before Pulp Fiction. It was before Sam had the cool factor of being Sam Jackson.
Or had he been Jackie Brown yet? already been
Jackie
in.
Brown had been out already, yeah, but again,
Yeah.
it's a really small role.
It's true. Yeah, when you think back on it, it would be, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say this was filmed, I would say, in and around when Pulp Fiction probably was, because they came out within a year of each other. So there's he hadn't hit it
Would have
big
gone
yet.
from this
But,
to Pulp Fiction.
yeah, but the way I kind of looked at this was the way the character is. He's a bit of a badass. You see him on, like, even though he's meant to be like a computer kind of genius, he's a bit of a badass, like with the cigar and all that. He's just got that kind of Samuel Jackson kind of swagger to him. So that's what I was trying to base it off. So I kind of had two that I was going back and forth on that I was like, I think both of them kind of can portray that character, but also take those kind of smaller roles. So the backup I had was Jeremy Renner, who, yes, he does take those. He does take those smaller roles, but I think he's trying to step into taking just kind of a bigger role now. So I don't know if he'd still take it. And then the other one was Jamie Foxx, who, again, I don't think anyone here is going to argue that Jamie Foxx is an incredible actor, but this role doesn't require a huge amount of acting.
True.
I'd argue that.
Jamie Foxx, was it?
No, I'd argue that he's not a great actor. He's a good actor. He's a good actor.
No, I'm saying no one's going to argue that he's a great actor.
Oh, okay. So you mean he's just a decent actor? Like
he's fine, but no one's going to be shouting for, no one's going to be comparing Jamie Foxx to Samuel L. Jackson in 10 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Actually, he might be a better actor than Samuel L., to be honest.
He's definitely not better than Samuel L.
There's only one of them that's an Oscar winner.
No, that's not true. Samuel L. got an Oscar at the Oscars this year.
He got a Lifetime Achievement Award.
He got an Oscar. Did he leave with a little golden man?
Samuel L. is a great actor.
You went with Jamie Foxx, did you?
I went with Jamie Foxx, yeah. I just kind of figured Jeremy Renner probably wants to step into slightly bigger roles now at the moment than this would have been.
Okay.
I've done something I haven't done in a long time and changed the person's skin color.
Okay.
I normally try and keep it as close as I can. I went with Josh Brolin.
Okay.
Thinking of, like, he played. Oh, wait, actually, have I got the right person? Yeah, no, he played Cable in Deadpool, didn't he? Yeah. And obviously I think he was Thanos as well, wasn't he?
He's done so much.
He's done so much.
But it's more. That was great. That's awesome. But no, his role as Cable, obviously being computer-wise like a robot. I think he has a cigar as Cable as well, doesn't he?
I think in the comics he might
have in the comics. Anyway, I don't know
if they did it in the film or not.
Well,
you're going to kick yourself, Greg, because you've been trying to get this guy into a movie.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Long ass time.
Doug Judy.
My pick here was John David Washington.
Oh,
son of a bitch! He was my backup as well. I was like, every time I put him in, he's cost me.
Yeah, John David Washington was my choice for this one here.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, that's a decent choice as well, yeah.
Yeah. I am going to give it to Josh Brolin, though.
On the Cable.
Yeah.
I do like Jamie Foxx. I do actually think he's a great actor, but for this role, I think Josh Brolin will suit it a bit better.
Yeah, probably would. As I said, like there's not a huge amount in this. It's kind of all I was basing it off was, can they play that sort of stoic, badass sort of character that he seems to be, but also he's
That's
like
the goddamn password.
Yeah, you know.
Okay, so we'll move on to the other child in this film, Lex Murphy.
Yeah, tough one, isn't it?
Yeah,
it was.
It's back to me now, is it?
I messed with it a little bit.
It's Greg.
I messed with it a little bit here, but
okay.
It's me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you, Greg. Yeah.
By messing with it, you've gone with two lads, then, have you?
No, I haven't.
So I get real hesitant when I'm googling kid actors, because your phone listens to you and stuff.
Of course,
such is life. I went with someone who's So she was 16, I think, making this movie.
14.
15, 14, was she? So I went to someone a little bit older. Obviously, Ian Armitage was a bit older than thing, but so when I done it that way, she still looks a lot younger, so I wouldn't put her down as a 20. I went with Sadie Sink, obviously from Stranger Things.
Yeah, big fan of Sadie as an actress, all right. Yeah.
She can kind of get away with being 16 or so.
Yeah, she can.
She's got that baby face, yo.
Yeah.
She does, and I mean, she's still playing in Stranger Things, which is going to be coming out this.
Well, we don't know because I don't know because in Stranger Things, by the last series, they were already like teenagers. Do you know what I mean? They were no longer kids in the last series.
Well, she was older than them anyway.
Yeah.
No, she's the same age as them. She's in the same class as them.
I thought the reference that she was older.
No, she's in the same class as them. But like they're all kind of teenagers by.
Well, the lads are 18 and 19 anyway.
No, but what I mean is in the last series they were already been portrayed as teenagers. So I don't know what age they'll probably still be portrayed as teenagers, but like probably 17 or 18 now rather than whatever 13 or 14 that they were being portrayed as the last time.
Where did you go here, Ted?
Yeah, so this again, like as I said, tough because you're going for children actors. And I wanted to keep it quite young because even 16, I felt was probably like I still felt if the character looked 16, that's probably still a bit too old because it's still meant to be two children. Like, they're both meant to be quite young, so that's what I tried to stick with. So I had two people. One of them I haven't seen act enough, so I went with that as my backup. Was Melina Rivero, who is in Cobra Kai. Do you know when the LaRusso son and Kenny keep fighting over that girl? She's the girl in that, but like you don't really get to see much of her acting ability in it, and it is kind of a bigger role here. So I said, I can't really put her in there. So the person I ended up going with was Bella Higginbotham, who is in the Mighty Ducks series that Disney Plus released. She plays this kind of quirky character in it. She's quite young looking because, well, she is young. So that's I try to stick with that, like, and keep them closer to kind of the 13, 14-year-old age group where they're kind of, like that's where they're kind of meant to be.
Right. Okay. I went with Marseille Martin here. She's been in Blackish, and she's the younger daughter in Blackish, and she is also in Little. She actually wrote and produced Little, which was.
Can't say I haven't watched Blackish and I haven't seen Little.
She's absolutely hilarious in Blackish. Like she's watch out for her, and that's why I'm saying I changed it a little bit. They can do the adopted storyline or whatever.
Yeah,
throw that in. But I went with her. I think she'd be a great choice. I'm gonna have to give this to Sadie just because I haven't seen the Mighty Ducks show, so I have no reference for Bella Higginbotham.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you'd seen that, so I was kind of like, I'm definitely taking a risk here. But if you've seen it, I think she works quite well as that.
Yeah, I'm not hugely set on having Sadie Sink there, but the fact that I have no idea who Bella is, I'm gonna have to give it to.
I literally hadn't a thing. I just went off head and went and I found someone I knew that was young looking.
Yeah.
I pretty much actually given this point up in my own head before I come out, but I'll take it.
Okay.
The champ took a quick 2-0 lead and he comes back swinging.
Now, I will say, before we move on to the next one, these next 5, I'm really happy with my 5 picks.
Yeah, well, you're the judge. You don't count.
I know. It kills me.
Sorry. That was me.
Really happy with these 5 picks.
I wonder, right, and I didn't think of this person before, but I'm actually have to think of them now. What's the young girl in Ghostbusters?
Mackenzie Tom.
Yeah, she would have won.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only just thought of it there.
Didn't even think about it.
Yeah, she'd have gotten the points there for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have literally, if you had said that, I'd have given the point up.
you say that's Mackenzie Thompson? Is it?
No, Mackenzie Thompson's an older actress, isn't she?
No, that's
Yeah,
who did you say it was?
From Last Night in Soho.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like,
It's McKenna Grace, isn't it?
Yes.
McKenna Grace. Yeah, I only just thought of her there. Like literally just thought of her. Like,
Yeah.
I think I did say McKenna.
yeah, you did. I just misheard you. Yeah, no, I just thought of her there. I was like, oh, that actually probably would have been the way to go.
Yeah, that's a perfect pick.
Yeah.
Well, we'll call that one a win for me and scoot on to the next one. See if I can keep this 2-game running streak going.
And when we move on to Dennis Nedry, Wayne Knight.
Tough one again because, like, he's
basically the only asshole in the film. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he's kind of like he's a.
No, he's definitely the only asshole in the film.
In this one, he probably is.
And this one, he kind of is. Yeah, if you go on to the further, like Jurassic Park 2 and 3.
Yeah,
Samuel L. is an arsehole in this as well, lads.
Not really. Like
he's an arsehole to him. He's an arsehole to him.
He's an arsehole to Dennis Nedry because the guy never does any of his work. Like
the guy designed the whole security thing for the park and ran it off one computer. He definitely did his work.
And that was the 90s, though.
Yeah.
Control, Alt, Delete. Everything shuts down.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nothing's changed.
This one I kind of found a bit tough because the character, yeah, he's kind of an asshole, but he doesn't do a huge amount of acting in it either. Do you know? Like he's kind of most memorable for obviously the scene where he's like, "Hey, it's this guy." He's like, "Look, nobody cares," and then the dinosaur spitting in his face. Like,
don't skimp out on the bill.
Outside of that, he doesn't do a massive amount. So I kind of found this one tough. I had a fan favorite there for a while. I'm Jack Black.
Had to be Jack Black, yeah.
I had Jack Black there for a while, and I was like, I just don't know if Jack Black like plays
I couldn't see it.
Yeah, I just don't know if I'd see him doing it. So I went with someone else who's probably a bit older than the role here as well, in Peyton Peter Oswald.
What a man! I love Patton Oswalt.
Yeah, like
Patton Oswalt.
Yeah, sorry, Patton Oswalt. I think he'd do it very well. Questionable. Maybe his age is a little. It would be the only issue.
Gas. I loved him in King of Queens.
King of Queens. He's great in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's great in everything. Like anything I've ever seen him in, he's really good. He's Fire Marshal Boone in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I seen you looking a bit confused there, Greg.
I had to think that. I was like, what was he? Yeah, he was. Yeah, and they're having to fight outside the bakery.
They had the fight outside the bakery. Then they play like
the challenge game and all
the tag football. And he's like, you don't need to dance every time to Terry. And Terry's like, I know I don't need to. I wanted to.
Yeah, no, Patton Oswalt's great. He's a brilliant voiceover actor.
He is. And I think he could play the kind of, the nerdy guy, who designed the system, but is also, sick of everyone's shit and then kind of turns on them and is a bit of an asshole.
I went with the first name that came to my head. It's probably the only one I haven't changed. I went with Josh Gad.
Josh Gad, okay.
Who was obviously Olaf in Frozen, and he was Gaston's little henchman in Beauty and the Beast.
He was.
Oh yeah.
I did think of Jack Black after I put it down. And I was like, no, he's too old. Because isn't he supposed to be Thing's nephew?
He's meant to be Thing's nephew, yeah, but that could mean anything.
That doesn't mean that because there's nothing else said about that. That just comes out once and that's it.
Yeah, but like he's the nephew, but like, like that could be any age,
Yeah.
True.
No, I know that, yeah, but
I went myself here with Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
No, he's too muscly now. We need fat Jonah Hill.
Have you seen him in Don't Look Up?
No.
He's put the weight back on.
Oh, is he back in? Okay,
not all of it, but not all of it, but he put some weight back on. Yeah.
No, he needs to put it all back on. I like fat Jonah Hill. I didn't like skinny Jonah Hill.
Ripped Jonah Hill.
Yeah, I want fat Jonah Hill.
I can just see him really doing that.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
Like that would have been the handy one. If he was still fat, that would have been the name I went with.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen him with anything.
He's put a little bit of weight back on. I don't watch Don't Look Up because it's terrible.
Awesome. That's another one crossed off the list.
You don't need to watch it. The fact that it got nominated for an Oscar is not.
Guarantee you now, someone out of that movie, I'm going to use someone and someone's going to beat me out of that movie. And I'm like, motherfucker.
You don't need to watch that movie. It's absolutely terrible. It's a tough one because both are really good choices. Like, really good choices. I think I'm going to have to give it to Josh Gad, though.
Yeah,
You
see,
know,
Look, I've been impaled.
I was questionable when I picked him anyway because I was like he might be a little old for.
Yeah,
I will tell you that
that's
that's a
the thing that kinda
fucking
swayed
good
me a
shout,
little
though.
bit.
Yeah.
I do like Patton Oswalt.
I think he just fits that sort of minor character very well.
I think that's the first time he's been used in a recast for us as well. So
I've had him down for Patton Oswalt. I've had him down for a few things and never actually used him.
I think I've used Josh Gad once as well.
I think he's been used. Yeah.
Yeah. Patton Oswalt's great, though. I love him.
3 in a row for Greg. Can he keep the train running when we move into John Hammond, the late great Richard Attenborough?
What a man! What a man! That's all you can say about this.
Yeah.
Right.
What way did you go?
So I changed this 3 times, and the last time I changed it was literally whilst the computer was updating.
Oh dear.
So we had an issue. If you don't know, we had an issue. We were supposed to start recording about half an hour before we actually did, because the computer decided to update and killed some time. But I had Danny DeVito for a long time.
You probably would have lost.
No, I like Danny DeVito there.
I literally was sitting here going, I'm looking at the list and I'm looking at it going, no, I have to be able to do something better than that. I have to be able. Patrick Stewart.
Not a bad shout. Not a bad shout.
I wouldn't have liked Danny DeVito as that role now, I'd have to say.
I originally thought to myself, I was like, that's a winner. That's a winner. And every time I looked at it then I was like,
I really hope
love
Greg
Danny DeVito, but not for that role.
Yeah, no, I love Danny DeVito. I just say he wouldn't be that role. I'm really hoping that Greg's extra time here from when we were meant to be recording isn't going to benefit him, because I think I would have beaten him if he'd used Danny DeVito, nearly no matter who I picked here.
Unless you picked Danny DeVito.
Which I wouldn't have, because I didn't like him. I wouldn't like him for this role. This was the one I probably had the most names down for before I settled on someone. I'd floated through a few people. I was like, could Robert De Niro do this? I was like, he probably could, but maybe a little too old.
Technically retired now as well.
No, still filming.
He's back filming, is he?
Currently filming something. I looked it up because I was like, I thought.
Because I know after he had, I think he got diagnosed with testicular issues or something, testicular cancer, and he was like, no.
Yeah, I thought the same. So I was like, I better look that up. But I didn't go with him.
Good. That's good to hear.
I thought Jeremy Irons maybe could do it.
That'd have been a show.
But I eventually landed on Bernard Hill, who would have been King Theoden. Partially because if you look at him now, he actually looks quite similar to Richard Hammond, and he plays that kind of loving fatherly role when he's King Theoden. And that's kind of the way he is here. He's just kind of a loving grandpa, but rich as fuck.
He's well beyond loaded, isn't he?
Yeah. Yes. He's out here making dinosaurs.
The way I went here is I'm actually really happy with my choice here. I didn't go for Patrick Stewart, but I did go for his counterpart at the X-Men. I went with Ian McKellen.
I had thought of it. And I was like, it's just.
I think he suits the role better than Patrick Stewart.
See, my only thing, I had looked at him.
Old.
I had looked at him, but you were looking at 80, in their 80s, and I was kind of like, if we're casting kids as his grandchildren,
yeah, I
was like, does it work very well in that sense? I was like, I don't know if I want to go too old. So I was like, I'll try and stick away from that and try to stick a little bit younger. I'm not saying Bernard Hill is much younger either, to be fair. But
true. I'm gonna have to go with Bernard Hill here, just because, and honestly, he really is not a good actor. Patrick Stewart is not a good actor. I just
had a look at Bernard Hill's thing there. Is he still acting? He hasn't done acting since 2016.
According to according to IMDb, he's in pre-production for something called The Pub. Those Who Remaining is filming, and Age is in post-production. And he was in Segunda, so I don't know what that is, in 2018. So
I just went into the Wikipedia there.
yeah, no,
Just to see.
so he is still.
Yeah, that's all right. No,
So,
I'll just put it out there.
Yeah, 3-3. And as much as I like Patrick Stewart in the X-Men films, I was never a Star Trek fan. Really. And I
Right.
don't think he's a good actor. I really don't.
I'll give you my third choice that I had,
Yeah.
and see. Now I'll be sick now if you say this will win, and I guarantee you'll tell me it'll win. Michael Douglas.
That would have been a good choice, but I probably would have stuck with a more British actor.
I'm all right then.
Right, so we'll go into the main tree. The tree who are returning for Dominion.
yes.
Guaranteed it last about 8 seconds.
No, sure. That's all Jeff Goldblum did in the last one. It was only there for a scene or two, and that was in the courthouse.
That's all he needs.
But speaking of, we will stick with Goldblum. It's the second film in a row that we've recast Jeff.
Yeah.
Second film in a row, and third out of the last 5.
Yeah, we've.
Oh no, sorry, no, it's not. It's not third out of the last 5. We actually cast him in one. Sorry, that's my mistake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's been a lot of Goldblum about, which isn't a bad thing.
No, I can't say.
The world is Jeff Goldblum. We're just living in it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm a big fan of Jeff Goldblum. It's back to, is it me first or
It's you now.
me?
It's myself.
No.
Hey, Jeff.
me. Jeff Goldblum. As always, one of those actors that's just so tough to recast because he fits his own role so well.
He just takes over a role, doesn't he?
Yeah, like any role I've seen him in, I'm just like, yeah, they cast that perfectly by putting him in, and it's similar to like there's a few actors where once they've got a role, you're just like, yeah, that's the correct person for that role, yeah. And it's very hard to, like, Alan Rickman was one of those kind of actors, once Alan Rickman was in something, you were like, yeah, no, they were right, Alan Rickman fits perfectly. So I went a little bit outside of the box, and I used somebody we haven't used before here.
Okay.
But I think it's someone who can play kind of the very self-confident and aloof character, because we do hear that he's a bit of a playboy on the helicopter over and stuff. They're like, he's a bit of a playboy and stuff. So I went with someone like that, and who in 2.5 Men he's portrayed as kind of a.
Oh, thank God you said that.
He's portrayed as kind of a genius in this, in Ashton Kutcher, who I think would do very well in it.
So what? I actually thought we had the same person the way you were talking there. I was like, oh no.
No, I have Ashton Kutcher here, who we haven't used before.
I most certainly don't.
I do like Ashton Kutcher and a lot of the stuff I have seen him in.
He was amazing.
Looking forward to seeing the reunion show for that 70s show. They've all signed on to do it, obviously without Danny Masterson.
Yeah,
but the rest of them, they've all signed up to do the reunion show.
Wait, where's Danny Masterson?
He's in prison for child stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, one of those.
He bad man.
He a bad man.
Yeah, we don't talk about Danny Masterson.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Yep.
Right. So,
Ashton Kutcher is a good choice, though.
I do, yeah. That was the one. Do you remember I told you before that I had locked in from quite early on? I didn't even think of anybody else. I was like, because if I start trying to think of anyone else, I'll be annoyed at myself for not using them. So
yeah, he is one that I've tried to fit into roles recently because it was like, we haven't used Ashton Kutcher yet.
Yeah,
I want to try and fit him in, and I just haven't been able to.
Yeah, I think he fits in very well here.
I have one that I went with. This one I had two. It was my backup I had was Adam Driver, who I actually tried to cast as Independence Day.
Yeah.
As Goldblum in Independence Day. And And then I instead went with Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston.
Very full of himself. Good looking fella. I reckon he could do it. I could do the job.
Yeah.
Again, Goldblum doesn't do very much in this either.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, he's memorable though. That's the thing.
He's memorable, but he doesn't do a whole lot. Which would probably be the step away for Tom Hiddleston, I would think.
I don't think so.
I think Tom Hiddleston's starting to pick up more and more a bit now. Like they had him do Low Key, which was his own show completely. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised seeing him. It's true, but I still would be surprised at seeing him pop up and doing a, not the main star.
A random cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly.
Ashton Kutcher was a fantastic shout, and I would go with Ashton Kutcher if I didn't have Tom Hiddleston down myself.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
God bless my change.
I didn't even think of Tom Hiddleston, to be honest. I had Ashton Kutcher, and I was like, no, I'm happy.
I can just picture him in it.
You can picture him doing that Life Finds a Way, but do you know the one where he has the water in her hand and he's like, where's the drop going to go? And it'll run back, it'll run forward. And then when he gets out of the car with the flare.
Yeah, I can really see Tom Hiddleston. Ashton Kutcher was a great choice.
Yeah,
really
I think I could see Kutcher doing all of that as well. I was just like,
yeah.
I think might he be too big of a unit?
Goldblum's not a small guy, really.
He did slim down to do
jobs,
did he?
Yeah,
when he did Steve Jobs.
Yeah,
I didn't see that now actually.
His version wasn't great. Fassbender's was a lot better.
Yeah, it's not like Hiddleston's not a small guy either, though.
He's I'd say he's a lot skinnier though. He might be ripped, but he's not jacked.
Yeah.
Sherlock.
We'll move on to Ellie Sattler, Laura Dern's character in this franchise. And which way did you go there, Greg?
Right, I had two.
Win this, and you win. By the way.
Yeah.
It's 4-3.
What's that? I'll go on to my seventh reign. Interesting. Yep. So I had two names. I actually had three down. I had Alison Brie down.
Okay.
And I was like, no, don't like that. Changed it to Brie Larson. Thought, no, don't like that. And for some reason or another, ignore the spelling on the name that I done, but I went to Alexandra Daddario.
Okay.
My God, she has the bluest eyes ever.
She does.
Good actress as well.
Yeah.
Now, what I found a bit weird in this was, so, like, obviously Laura Dern's in it, and her and Alan are an item.
There's a bit of an age discrepancy here, yeah.
There is a big age discrepancy here, and I've actually gone with that age discrepancy again, intently off that.
For these two, there's no real.
Yeah, well, I always remembered that growing up. I was like, he looks about 90. She's not.
Yeah. No, when I was casting it, I kind of looked at it the same. I was like, oh, I didn't realize there was such an age discrepancy. Like, there's 20 years between them, and I don't remember it being that sort of thing. And I was kind of like, oh, will I stick with someone around that age? And so like as a backup, I had Sophie Turner because she's around that age. I was like, I don't know if I'd buy her in that, like this is meant to be someone who's kind of at the top of their field as well. I was like, I don't know if I buy her as that. I had Jennifer Lawrence, and I was like, again, don't really buy her.
She'd fit it better than Sophie Turner would.
Yeah, and then I was like, but I still don't really buy that. And if I win this, Greg, you're going to be kicking yourself because I actually did go with Alison.
Fuck off!
I went with Alison Brie, and I said she plays. I don't know if you've watched. I think, Carl, you have watched Community, haven't you?
I love Community.
I started watching it.
Like that's her whole character.
Oh, I'm sorry, no, I started watching Parks and Reps.
She's very she plays the kind of not child genius, but a very intelligent person.
She's also fantastic in Glow.
Yeah, but it's a different character, So I was like, I'm using the character from that as her acting ability is brilliant as well. And yes, it ages up that character, but I think that kind of works out a bit better when you're meant to be portraying these as a couple.
I am.
This person here is who. This was my favorite choice overall. I went with Elizabeth Olsen for this role.
Yeah,
Good show. Good show.
Yeah, I think she fucking knocked us out the park.
yeah, she'd be very good at it. Yeah, to be fair.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a bad feeling about this one.
Yeah, well, that feeling's come true, my friend.
Yeah. When you said you had Alison Brie, Greg, I was like, Greg's gonna hate himself because I was like,
yeah,
Alison Brie is so good for this role. I was like, he's really gonna have to knock it out of the park to get past Alison Brie if he's got rid of her. Like,
yeah, you did that to yourself, my friend.
yeah,
That's what that's 4 or 5 times I've done that.
You've done that to yourself a couple of times.
On the bright side, the one thing I will say, if you stuck with Alison Brie, it would have been 5-4, and it would still be going into this one. And if Ted won, he'd be winning.
It's true. It's true.
So it would make
inconsequential, really. It's inconsequential.
Yeah, watch. I guarantee we have the same person on this one.
Unless we draw here, and then it's very consequential.
Well, then it's consequential. But in reality, for the last 2 picks to be the exact same,
it would have been rare.
It has happened.
It has, but it's rare.
Remind me. So finally, for the title, for the championship, to continue on, we have Alan Grant, Sam Neill's character.
Yes. So this was kind of a weird one as well because, yeah, he was that little bit older, but like he's meant to be again someone who's at the top of his field. Part of the show, part of the like character is that he doesn't like children. At the start of the film, then he grows to like the children, and then he's quite a parental figure to them. So I was trying to think of someone who's kind of like that. And I probably wouldn't have thought of this person if it hadn't been for a show, the last show we did with just the 3 of us, and you mentioning a certain TV show in The Big Bang Theory.
Oh no!
And I went with Johnny, and I don't know how to Johnny Galecki.
Leonard.
Leonard. Yeah, I don't really know how to I assume that's how you say his name, but yeah, Leonard. I was like, he really fits that role. I think. So like that was the only name I really had down there.
Okay. And Greg?
I went with Ewan McGregor.
Ewan. The bowl Ewan.
Yeah, I went with Ewan McGregor. I think he fits in perfectly.
The way I went here was pretty much the description. You take this guy doesn't like kids, then kind of starts growing to accept them and then to like them. If you replace kids with
Danny DeVito,
droids, and you have the description of the Mandalorian, I went Pedro Pascal.
I had thought of it, and I just didn't think he'd sit in there.
Yeah, I don't. I suppose I'm kind of finding. Do I look at Pedro Pascal as this guy is top of his field in anything but fighting?
Yeah, I suppose
that'd be my only thing with Pedro Pascal, because anything I've ever seen him in, the thing he's really, really good at is fighting everyone.
True.
Hence why we cast him as Inigo Montoya.
Yeah,
we did actually, didn't we?
Yes,
one time
we did.
But when he had his head squished in Game of Thrones.
Do you remember that? He got flattened.
So good. No, well, he wrecked the mountain until
he got smart.
He grabbed the mountain, grabbed his head, and like popped it like a little cherry. Bang.
Does he not do his eyes? Does he not stick his fingers?
Pops his fingers into his eyes. Yeah, it's pretty gruesome.
I think this is the first time used for both Johnny Galecki and Ewan McGregor.
I think, has Greg used Ewan McGregor before?
I don't think so.
No,
I think this is
I mentioned him. I mentioned him. I might have had him as a backup or something, but I've never used him.
You've definitely mentioned him.
Yeah,
it probably is just as a backup. You've mentioned him.
Right, it's a tough one. It is a tough one. Both are good choices. But I think I'm going to have to go with Ewan.
And new.
I really thought I thought Johnny Galecki really fit that. Now when I had him down, I was like, that's a really good shout for that. Like,
Yeah,
the smart intellectual, but also, socially awkward to everyone that he ever
no,
meets.
it's true. It's true. And believe me, I wanted to give it to you because it's the first time that I haven't been like the first champ, and then the first time 2 champ, and the first time 3 champ. Grreg is now the first time 7-time champ.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, no, I don't know. I was very happy with that one. Ashton Kutcher was the one I was really happy with, if I'm honest.
See, I had Tom Hiddleston down myself.
Yeah, no, that was that was the one I was really happy with when I had cast it originally. To be fair, so when I lost that, I was like, I might be in a bit of trouble here because these are the ones I'm not.
For me, like I picked up Sadie Sink, a point for that I'd kind of thrown away.
Yeah, see, I couldn't remember if Carl had mentioned that he had watched it or hadn't watched it because I remember I brought up the show before and I was like,
What, Stranger Things?
Mighty Ducks.
No, the Mighty Ducks.
Oh, sorry.
I was like, I remember bringing it up before and I couldn't remember if you had said you had watched it. And I was like, I might just try my luck with this one because I still wanted to keep those 2 characters as young as I could, sort of thing.
Yeah. If you had chosen anyone that I had seen in a role, you probably would have beaten Sadie Sink.
Yeah, you see, that's the problem. It's very hard to like. I could have picked your one, Melina, but like again, she wasn't in Cobra Kai a huge amount. So
that was really
exactly. So probably wouldn't have won it, So
for that one, no, you wouldn't have known.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But, congratulations, Grreg, the first time 7-time champion.
I was actually looking for a gift there that said "and new" of Bruce Buffer, but I couldn't find
one. Well, that means it'll be you 2 boys continuing on into next week. And
God help us, Carl. God help us.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this.
Ted has been mean.
He's been too mean.
No, I haven't. I've given some real. No,
You've been mean.
I've been sometimes mean, and then you've been just as mean back.
This is coming from the guy who picked Hook.
Yeah, like episode 3 when we didn't realize how difficult it was to do with that, like loads of children, like
he did Breakfast Club as well, didn't he?
No, I done that.
Grreg did Breakfast Club. Oh. See, you say I'm the one that's been mean. You have picked some shit films for us to do as well. No, this one isn't. This one is. It has an upcoming sequel that's been. I wouldn't say people were clamoring for. But now that it's been announced, people are very, very hyped about it.
Debbie Does Dallas.
No, it's never going to be Debbie Does Dallas, all right? It's never going to be that. No, it's a Top Gun.
Yeah, as soon as you said sequel, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, it's one that no one was clamoring for a Top Gun sequel. No one was like, we need one.
Allegedly, it's going to be one of, from all the early reviews, it's going to be one of the best sequels ever.
Time, yeah.
Well, having seen the trailers for it and some extended trailers for it, it looks fucking deadly.
It looks unbelievable.
So I am very much looking forward to seeing the new one.
It's very good timing because this will be airing then on the 20th.
Yes.
Or the 19th, isn't it? This episode?
This episode's the 19th, yeah.
Yeah, and then
will be the 19th, and then
Top Gun will be 26th.
Top Gun will be the 26th, and Top Gun Maverick is released on the 25th, so this is perfect timing.
Right after, yeah. So, obviously, like, share, comment, all that good stuff on the Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And don't forget to go over to Carl's Instagram and vote on the polls whether you think Grreg should have won, I should have won, or if Carl's picks should have won. I think we've all agreed that the first one that we did, that Carl probably would have won, to be honest, anyway.
To paraphrase this film, I do apologize for the poll not going out as regularly, but life has gotten in the way, but life will find a way.
At least if you're going to use it,
But until next week, good luck.
Stop.